Alright, so I finally have the whole Nintendo DS family collection, which is the original Nintendo DS, the DS Lite, the DSi, and the DSi XL. So I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, talking about its features and personally what I think my favorite one is. So first we're going to start with the Nintendo DS. So this is normally known as the Nintendo DS Fat, and of course the original DS. Features wise, most of them have it, which is of course being able to play DS games, and this and the DS Lite also have the ability to play GBA games through its second slot. Although what I would think this is an advantage over the DS Lite is that when you put it in, it fits perfectly, while if you put it in the DS Lite, it pops up a bit and it's a bit noticeable. Now, personally, I never owned DS Fat. I actually started with a DS Lite, but I do still like its design, although it is a bit more chunky. And as you see, it's like the top screen is like a little popped up, but I mean it has all the features, of course, which is the L and R buttons, and it actually uses the GBA charger, which is something different. And yeah, I mean everything else is the same. Has a jack. It was the first Nintendo DS, the first Nintendo console to even use wireless capabilities like trading Pokemon and even voice chat. So the DS Lite, the only thing that is different is that it's now a lot sleeker. The microphone is on top here in the middle instead of down here, and yeah, it looks a lot better. And there's also like different brightness options. In the DS Fat, there's only on and off, and this one is more varied. But other than that, it has basically the same features. The only thing is that this is a little floppy once you get some use of it. Now this one I actually bought pretty new, so it's pretty sturdy, but like I said, I started with the DS Lite and it started getting pretty floppy. And again, another extra thing is that it gets this little thing that protects it from the dust. But yeah, basically everything else is the same, just the design is different, and obviously a lot less clunky and more portable. So now we're going to talk about where things really changed. But before I get to that, something that I just remembered is that these are actually true region unlocked, region free consoles. And what I mean is that any game will work on them, be it Japanese, Europe. And yeah, you guys might say, oh well, all of them are region free. Well, yes and no, because some games like Pokemon Black 2 will actually not work on DSi XLs and DSi's, and even 3DS's. It just will not work. If you try, it will just show up as a blank spot. But DS Lites and DS Lites and DS Fats will recognize it. That is because some games use the DSi extra features, and if it detects that it's from another system that is not its region, it will be unplayable. The only way you can play these on 3DS or I think even DSi is if you mod it, which I'm pretty sure most of you don't have it modded. Now on to the next part. The DSi was released in 2008, and this is probably like one of the first times that I ever upgraded. And it's different because kind of copied the Wii, where it has its own little menu with a lot of extra features like the DSi Sound, of course the DSi Shop, which is shut down, but was really cool. You can still do DS Download Play with any of the other systems, and of course PictoChat. I also had a web browser, but it wasn't that great. One of the best things though about this DSi system is of course Flipnote Studio. And if you know about Flipnote Studio, you know how much and you know anything about me, you know how much I actually love it. The DSi was capable of having not only downloadable exclusive games, but also applications like this, where you were able to to make animations. And yeah, overall it was really like it was mostly the reason why I bought the DSi. So yeah, it was really cool, but it did take something away. which was the ability to use GBA games. Another feature that is not talked about as much is that from the DSi onward, that you were also able to use different type of internet, not just the, I think it's called WAP, because if you try to use a DS Lite or a DS Fat, try to connect it online, it will not work with these new Wi-Fi connections. But the DSi and DSi XL still can. So yeah, this is not really talked about a lot, but it's a cool feature. So you can still use its online services like this, Flipnote Hatina. Well, technically it's pseudo memo, but that's how it is. So services like this can still be used with a tiny bit of tinkering. And yeah, this was mainly my most used DS system. But now, the DSi XL. So it's exactly the same as the DSi, just of course bigger. Now the thing that is a little different is that the quality or screen hasn't been expanded, so the pixels basically just got bigger. But it still looks beautiful, especially like, you know, the like Pokemon still looks great. And of course you can do other things like take photos, and like I said, if you do a little bit of tinkering, you can get some of the features to still work with online. And since it's the same as the DSi, of course you cannot play GBA games, sadly, unless of course if you have a modded system, then yes, you technically can play GBA games, but you cannot do things like transfer Pokemon from 3rd generation to 4th, which is essential if you want to have like a, you know, past Pokemon to be moved up to Scarlet and Violet. And the thing that I like this over the DSi is apps kind of like this, you know, Flipnote. You can actually be more detailed because the screen is bigger. Like I said, the quality's not it's still the same, but of course it can make it easier to draw, you know, like action-packed you know, animations a lot easier. So like I didn't get DSi XL until later, but I have been really enjoying using this big system. So that's it. Those are every single variation of the Nintendo DS family. Like I said, these are more newer to me because I didn't have them when I was growing up, but the DS Lite and DSi did. Like I said, this is gonna be like a personal bias, but personally I would rank the DSi XL the top way to play because it just makes the games look bigger, and it's easier to do things like I said, like drawing, to do animations, and overall it's the best. But second best, I would kind of crazy to think I would actually put the DS Fat. I have been using it quite a bit and have just gotten used to like its shape. It's just so much sturdier. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break like the DS Lite. I feel it's kind of flimsy, but I mean it's still a great system, but it just feels a little bit more flimsy. So I would put the DSi XL as first place for me, the DS Fat for second, the DSi third, and DS Lite last. Now again, like you might not agree with me, that's okay, you know, it's personal choice, but that is what I would rank them. And if you're planning on transferring Pokemon, I would recommend the DS Fat because it just you know, I don't like it when my GBA games are sticking out. But yeah, that was my video. I know this is a super long video, but I just really wanted to get my thoughts now that I've been able to, you know, complete the DS collection. And hopefully I will be doing another review on the 3DS collection, which I also have completed. So let me know in the comments if you made it this far and what you think about the Nintendo DS family, like the Nintendo DS family systems. Like, what was your first one and what is your favorite one, if you even have a preference, because some people might just want to play the DS in any form. But yeah, thanks guys for watching, and of course if you have any recommendations on what games I should play, you know, link all together, leave them in the comments. So yeah guys, have a good one.